Nice. Well, good morning, Cordell. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing okay. How are you?
Well, lovely. I'm back on the East Coast. It's sunny over on my neck of the woods and 75 today. How about you?
Buried in snow.
Oh,
So,
well, as you know, I got out of Seattle just in time. We were the last flight out before they shut basically everything down, and I'd still be stuck back east if I did not get out when we did. So I'm grateful to be home for a couple weeks while things happen.
oh, it's bad out here.
Yeah, I really don't miss winter at all.
Uh,
Yeah, it's funny. Anyway, so I got a couple questions popped in, and
okay.
one of them that I know you'll jump right on because when I got it, I'm just like, did you not watch the lesson? But the question is just how important is the pre-con meeting?
Uh, it is the beginning and the end, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, I know it's different from our perspective because we've done it so much that it's like we kind of have that going forward. But for a new DIYer, I would think that I'll let you go ahead. I'm going to let you elaborate that maybe from both perspectives of how we both handle them.
sorry, my internet's cutting in and out, but we'll try this. Um, you absolutely have to have it in some sort of fashion. Realize it's kind of hard to maybe get everyone together all at the same time, but it's extremely important. You can't, like you say in the lesson, it's you need to get everyone on the same page, make sure you're on the same page, what's expected of you, what's expected of them. And it's like I had a professor that said to be successful in life, you just have to remember kindergarten, and that's wash your hands and follow directions. And so this is kind of that version. This is where, hey, this is the scope, this is the electrical scope.
Mhm.
Is that what you're planning on doing? Okay, what do you need from me? When do you need that? And then converse with each other as to how this is going to go down. And it's going to be impossible to keep a schedule when you have a bunch of people that just show up on a job site and have really no idea. Okay, the plumber knows he's going to rough in some fixtures, but he doesn't know where the kitchen sits currently and where your water main is and where your waste stack is. So unless these people know what they're expecting, you're not going to be efficient.
Yeah, well, you said one thing that was really critical that I think I have missed in previous conversations is what's expected of you're asking, you're projecting what's expected of them, clearly laying out scope, asking them those questions. But I think we touched on it a couple of weeks ago of, how involved should you be? And I think you really hit that nail on the head with what's expected of you. How much involvement is, you don't want to be overbearing, but you want to be there to answer questions because you are the acting general in that spot.
Yeah, I just had a plumbing roughing done. And so my plumber showed up and knowing I had all my rough-in fixtures because the homeowner wanted some specialty rough-in stuff for shower rough-in valves,
Right.
tub shower combos. We had a gas tankless water heater, which is not real common in my area. And so the plumber, knowing all that, I know what I need to provide. The plumber goes, okay, what's the water heater? I said, here's the specs, and here's the manual. Downloaded the manual. Of course, you can't get the water heater here because it's stuck in the Suez Canal with everything else. But and I know that's what's expected of me, and that's what they're going to tell you is, okay, oh, you want this water heater, or you have one of these to install. I'm going to need the specs for that. I'm going to need, because we wouldn't have known, especially on like that water heater, how to vent it, because they got an intake and exhaust. There's a certain distance they got to be from each other, certain material vent lines. You got to, all those types of things.
Yeah.
So that's they're gonna lay out as expected of you. The electrician is gonna want, hey, I need your appliance manuals. I need a few other things from you so I know what we're wiring here, and I need a reflected ceiling plan and some other layout.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We just
going
have,
back to it.
go ahead. Sorry.
Just it's for both of you guys, or for you and your team. So
Yeah. Yeah, we just had one on a bathtub rough in where they chose the Kohler drop in with a back warmer. And so it's like, oh man, it was going to max out the panel if we had to run an additional circuit. But it's when we downloaded the requirements of it, we were able to run it off the standard GFI in the room because it's such a low power draw, which was like grateful for that. Saved the homeowners a lot of money.
Yeah, but thanks for telling you ahead of time.
Right. And that's a whole nother thing. Proper specs. Yeah. So I concur with you that I really appreciate you pointing that out. That's what's expected of the owner, but also, that's the last chance you get to finalize your budget, schedule, everything, lock everybody in. And then once that happens, just kick over the domino and things should play out
Should.
shy of any crazy unforeseen conditions. So yeah, but I like your take on that. And then I had another question is like, so they've read the whole course and they've a little insecure still. And, what we have said is, even taking the course, it's either going to make you fully confident and ready to go, or it's going to make you the most informed person on the planet and be able to run your work in concert with somebody. And anyway, they asked about, well, thinking about hiring a PM or an owner's rep, if you will, to co-manage the job with them, which, okay, that's going to be some additional expense, not as much as hiring a flat out GC to run the whole thing. And so the question was, what 3 things would you expect of your project manager, owner's rep? And I listed off 3: manage the project, manage the team, and actually manage the client. Even though they're hired by them, you got to manage them. So you want to touch on those 3 things: project, team, and client?
Yeah. So if they're playing, like, seems like they're probably planning on going forward with a rep. Just to jump a little bit back is, I know you've been less than impressed with some project, reps before, or project managers. So have I. So first off, if you're going to go through with getting a, like a project manager, owner's rep type situation, feel them out just like the rest of your team. If you don't feel comfortable, then don't hire them. Go with someone else. It has to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're putting your faith in this person to manage your team, one, what does that look like to them, and what does that look like to you? It's going back to almost this pre-con thing: is what is their involvement with the team? You're gonna have to need that spelled out. And is there a daily involvement? Is there a weekly involvement? Is there, a per scope X much in time, or however that works? I think you said something good that, manage the customer or the owner.
Absolutely.
Yes, because if you're not, especially if you're not feeling comfortable, then you may put yourself in situations that, not risky, but you probably don't need to be in. Or how do you say this? Kind of a
help them get out of their own way.
Yeah. So if you have a rep, they're gonna tell you to be quiet, tell you that they've got this handled, that they will address X issue, whatever, and that's why you hire them. So don't take that personally as well.
Mm-hmm.
You are paying someone to cut you out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest. I've seen people get a little hurt on that type of thing. It's like, well, I really wanted this figured out. Okay, if they're going to do their job appropriately, they will handle it. Now, if it doesn't get handled, you got to move forward with something.
Yeah. So you addressed something early on that's like, both of us have been less than impressed with that situation before. And I would say that holistically, the reason that has happened is that person comes in unprepared or unqualified, and then ends up dragging things out. And, you're not paying them to figure it out on the way. You're paying them to manage, not to learn.
Yes.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion on that.
It's similar to you and I having a site superintendent. Overall, we have the big reins on the whole job, but especially if you're available but can't be there as much as you'd like to, or need to leave town, or whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
Then it's beneficial to have them, because they can do the one-off job visits a couple days a week, whatever that looks like.
Right. Yeah. Did you have any questions, thoughts that you had pop up?
No, not today. I think we addressed most of them last time that I took care of. So
cool. All right. Well, so recap: pre-con meeting. Yes, people, it is the most important meeting you can ever hold. Follow the entire process. And if you're hiring a PM, you got to get out of their way a little bit and trust that they're for the benefit of the project. And those 3 things, they're going to manage the project, team, and you. So those are those two things this week. Anyway, look forward
All
to
right.
talking to you again.
See you next week.
Yep. See ya.